Welcome back to the second half of Our City, where I'm joined by William Webb and Jeremy Brown, and we're discussing FACTS, Family and Children's Services. Now, with all these budget cuts, how are you guys making out financially?
Well, you know, knock wood, we're doing reasonably okay. I say that always cautiously because one never knows in this environment when things could change. But we've had no major, government contract cuts at this point, so that part's in place. We do, in addition to a state contract that we do have with the Department of Children and Families, which I indicated probably will be okay in this current budget environment. We do have some contracts with the County Department of Human Services around youth services for juvenile justice, preventing kids from getting in the juvenile justice system, and also homeless prevention programs. And then the City of Elizabeth is very generous with us through CDBG funding, and we utilize those funds to help with the Family Stabilization Program. We know that HUD is cutting back federally, but funding's been able to be maintained pretty well there. And we do have to raise our own money, privately, to try to help support the services, and it's it's an expensive proposition doing everything we do. So we do special events, we do individual appeals, we write foundation grants, we seek corporate support, that kind of thing. So I'm sorry. Okay. I should mention also we are a member agency of the United Way of Greater Union County, so we receive funding from the United Way as well.
So when you talk about fundraising, what's some of the fundraising initiatives that you have planned?
Well, the main one is our golf tournament, which is coming up June 30th, and we're excited about it this year. It's shaping up pretty well, and Jeremy's really the organizer, so I'm going to ask Jeremy to talk about that.
Yeah, it's our only annual fundraiser that we typically have, and it's our 16th annual, so we're kind of excited. It'll be in Livingston this year, like he said, on Thursday, June 30th. Our goal this year is to raise $50,000. With that money, we can help an additional 40 to 50 families with services that they either couldn't, they wouldn't be able to afford. So that's our goal, to try to really help those families that are underserved and underinsured.
Now, being that I wasn't invited, I guess you know about my golf game. So
we can get you on there.
Oh, no, thank you.
There's a putting contest. You can do that. That's not as dangerous.
And we have tennis this year, so you can feel free to play that.
Okay, tennis, call me. Well, miniature golf, I'm your man.
All right, good.
Now, who supports the tournament and why?
We have numerous generous donors. We have some that are brand new this year that we've never met, so we look forward to seeing them on the 30th. And then we have some who have been there since the inception of the golf event. So for 16 years, they've been great donors. We have a ton of private donors, and a lot of it, some of our vendors coming out and trying to support us, because I think a lot of them like the fact that we're a nonprofit and the work that we do. I think all of them are really amazed once they see what we do, going, wow, that's a lot of work, So they like to come out, and usually people who do it will do it, consecutive years once they see the work that we do.
Now, what can folks who are interested, do to sign up and support?
Well, there's a couple of opportunities. First of all, we're still open for players. Individual players can sign up. And foursomes, I think we still have some room for foursomes if people want to bring a foursome. We are still looking for auction items, I think, for our silent and live auction. Anything from say a getaway vacation or dinners out, or some kind of entertainment thing that we might be able to auction off at the event to raise funds. I believe we still have a couple of corporate sponsorship levels left. So there's a few opportunities if people want, as a business or a corporation, wanted to sign on.
And if golf or tennis isn't for anybody, but they still want the networking event, or just to come out and support the cause, they can just come out for the cocktail reception and the dinner, which includes the auctions and things like that for the evening portion. For those of us who don't golf, it's a little bit easier. You still get to be involved, but not have to embarrass yourself.
So you were serious when you said tennis. You added tennis this year?
Yes. This will be our first year, so this is kind of exciting. We'll be adding tennis, which is why we have the new venue. And then after tennis, if they want to, they have the pool facilities, and should be a really great day. We're really looking forward to it.
So the monies raised here will go back to help the counseling and support of families? Primarily
counseling services. For the most part, we do provide counseling to people who are uninsured or are underinsured, and there are just not very many resources out there for people who can't afford, who don't have insurance coverage or can't afford the cost of counseling. So that's primarily how we use the funds.
Now, when you talk about family help and support, we talked about the teens. What about the spouse, the husband and wife? Do you have counseling for them also?
We do. We do couples counseling, or we'll work with a whole family unit. In most of our programs, I should say, with counseling is done in the office. But some of our programs actually we do go to the home and do family counseling in the home. So we will work with whatever individual or couples or group of family members want to be involved in the process. It's always voluntary. We can't make anybody do anything. We just are there as a resource for them.
Now, I don't know if you have or if you come across that case where the guardian and parent is not the traditional mother or father, it's the grandparent. How do you handle that situation?
Pretty much the same we would as if it was the original parent. If a child is living with another caretaker, then we'd work with them as if they're the parent, and we would support them and help them with whatever process or resources they might need access to, the same way we would with any family. And sometimes sometimes the responsibility level and the stress level on grandparents can be quite high. They've already been through one round of raising children.
Right.
They may be not in as good a physical health as they had been earlier. Child rearing takes a lot of energy, and so I think it's important for us to be tuned into the challenges that grandparents are faced with when they are the primary caregiver of children.
Okay. After all is said and done, how do you know if you're really making a change or a difference in someone's life?
Well, we have experience with people anywhere from, say, a minimum of 3 months to maybe several years, depending on what service and program they're involved in and how long they participate in it. So we realize, we're coming into their life only on a part-time basis,
right,
and we're not there very long. We try to help them work on specific things that they've identified are challenging to them, so that they can get a sense of satisfaction of achieving some measure of improvement themselves in things. And beyond that, as in counseling, sometimes if you're the person going through the counseling, you'll find out other things as you go in. You might go in with one goal and you think, oh, now I've learned this about myself, I want to go a little further in this. So, we try to work with people with whatever issues they want to work on. And as I said before, we do our own program outcome measures with every program, and then we ask for client satisfaction feedback. Those are the only two ways we really know. We can't know 2 years later or 3 years later how they're doing. Sometimes we see people come back, sometimes we don't. So we hope that the interventions and the services we provide will last. Those skills that can last a lifetime for people, hopefully.
Knowing that there's a real need for finances here and you're doing your fundraiser, have you reached out to any special celebrities or anyone to help you raise the money?
We have. Our honorary golf tournament chairperson is Jerry Cooney.
The Jerry Cooney?
The Jerry Cooney, the man whose heart is as big as his whole self. He is a former heavyweight boxer. He was a championship heavyweight championship contender back, I guess, in the early 80s, I think it was. I've lost track of time myself. And Jerry's always had a real passion for helping kids and youth. And we were fortunate to get him involved, I guess, about 10 or 12 years ago with our tournament when we were in the first few years of it. And he really liked the idea. And he's been, our major promoter of it ever since. And he brings some of his sports celebrity friends in to help, play golf and mingle with the guests and everything. Makes it a little more, spices up the tournament a little bit more.
So let me ask you a hypothetical question. If you had unlimited funding available, what would you do with it, and how would you help people with it?
Wow. Well, I think what we would do is kind of create a whole person approach to services where we would allow ourselves the time to really help people identify everything about their lives that they wanted to work on. Now, our forte, our strength is doing counseling and case management, but there are other things that we might be able to put in place to help people, some life skills things, some more parenting education, maybe money management things. There's a lot of different pieces we might put together. But I would say that counseling would be the core for us because, as I said, a lot of people, in the early stages of things not going well, don't know where to reach for help, or they may not think they can afford it, they don't have insurance, and if they ignore these issues, they tend to get worse, and then, you know, if nobody else comes forward to help, then maybe the problem becomes known to the police, or it becomes known to the courts or to the child welfare system, and then families are into a deeper, more intrusive kind of service. So we would like, if we had unlimited funds, we would provide a lot of prevention and early intervention services up front.
So are there still slots available for additional golfers or tennis players?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we don't have a cutoff at this point, so we can just keep going. Have a
And
good
if
time with it.
someone wanted to contact you, how would they do that?
The best way is just to go to our website at facsnj.org. Click on events, and they can go in. It'll give you a listing of everyone's telephone numbers and where to call. You can also log on there, and there's a whole golfer and tennis website. So it goes through, so you can register there, and pretty much everything you need to know about the event is on there.
And you are on the golf course or tennis?
I'll be setting up all of those things and being there when everybody gets off.
You golf or tennis?
Well, no, I'll play golf. Not well. I play golf badly, but I enjoy it, and so you know, I have a good time.
Well, I will volunteer the mayor to take my slot, and he'll represent for me playing golf.
We're happy to have you and/or the mayor both. It would be great.
So why should someone support FACS instead of any other NPO?
Well, that's a good question. It's a tough question because there are a lot of very deserving organizations out there that do a lot of good things for people, and obviously we only do a certain number of things for a certain number of people. We happen to think that we are really like a very good quality agency. We really take the time to get to know people who come to us for service. We provide very individualized service. It's not a cookie cutter approach. We have the utmost respect for people's rights and their dignity and their resources and their resilience, no matter what they've been through. And we will find strengths with people to work with them on that. So that's why I would say.
Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, I wish you much success in your endeavors.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Until next time, I'm Alonzo Jones saying thank you for tuning in to this segment of Our City. Have a great week.